Mr. Van Cocteau, 6 minutes.
Sharon, thank you, Mr. Attorney General, for being with us here today, and to all the rest of the witnesses. Mr. Attorney General, you're the top lawyer in the land, so it's good to have you here at the Justice Committee. Now, Canada is a rule of law nation, and we function well only if citizens of the nation have confidence in the administration of justice. That's your job. This is true for the criminal justice system as it is for the civil justice system. And that's why it's so shocking to hear from a credible organization like the BC branch of the Canadian Bar Association in a letter dated, now this is 4 years ago, to your address to your predecessor, Mr. Lametti. And this is what the CBA said. Our Supreme Court of British Columbia is presently 7 judges below complement. As a result, parties are regularly arriving at court for trials and hearings that are being sent away because of the lack of judges to hear the cases. The parties have spent substantial time and money preparing for court appearances. Witnesses have also been inconvenienced. And then it goes on to talk about the financial and the emotional cost. Now, there's an example from a lawyer, and you'll appreciate this, of course, being a lawyer yourself, that said, I've had this problem of delays several times, 5 times that I can remember in the last 18 months. It happened twice in the Cranbrook Supreme Court, resulting in the client being unable to enforce a restrictive covenant before it expired. Now, it's difficult enough to enforce a restrictive covenant, but this person did not even have the opportunity to ever try, and they feel that justice has been denied. So my question to you, Mr. Attorney General, is why is justice being denied for people in my home province of British Columbia?
Well, thank you, Mr. Van Popta, for the question. I'd say to you that I'm acutely aware of the need to complete and fulfill judicial vacancies. I would note for the record that in 7 months in office, I've appointed 74 judges thus far, and there are more to come in the immediate days that follow. I would say to you that I think it's important for comparison purposes to reflect on the record of the previous government that we replaced in 2015. The average number of appointments annually by that government was 65. So by that metric, I'm working twice as fast as the previous government. Secondly, what I would say to you is that it's important to understand how delays occur in the criminal justice system and the civil justice system, but also who's responsible for the delays. The administration of justice in this country is, in the main, the purview of the provinces, and delays are also caused by lack of courts and lack of court staffing across provinces in this country. You mentioned confidence in the administration of justice. I share your concern. It's entrenched in our charter. It's a fundamental part of what I do. What I've seen fit to do is ensure that our JACs have quorum. Those are judicial appointments committees. They have quorum, and that they are able to do the work that they are required to do in terms of nominating judges such that they present recommendations to me. What I've seen alternatively in other provincial levels of government in terms of their own judicial appointments processes is stacking judicial appointments committees with staffers of the governing party. That relates to my province, not yours, but I think that actually undermines confidence in the administration of justice because it injects partisanship in the appointments process. That's not what we need, and we have ensured a nonpartisan process that is robust, that helps us establish judges of the highest quality to represent the diversity of the country. I'll continue to appoint people of that nature.
Well, thank you for that answer. Now, you've said that you're appointing a record number of judges, which is fair enough. I don't argue with that. But the Chief Justice of Canada talked about, this is Richard Wagner, talked about the government's inertia regarding vacancies and the lack of satisfactory explanations for these delays. And this is what he says: the slowness of appointments is all the more difficult to understand since most judicial vacancies are predictable. Now, you said that you're appointing more judges than the Conservatives ever did. Of course, sir, your circumstances are quite different than they were a decade ago when Conservatives were the governing party. You have the reality of large number of aging baby boomers, but so it is your job to fill those vacancies. It is your job to stand up to the challenges of the day. So my question is whether your government is up to those challenges.
And I would say to you, Mr. Van Popte, that in terms of the number of judges we've appointed since 2015, it's over 700. Last year, the combination of David Lametti and myself, we appointed 100 judges in total. That's never been done in Canadian history. As I said to you, I've appointed 74 in 7 months. That is a faster pace than has ever been seen and twice as fast as the previous government. Is there an issue with respect to appointing judges and the speed with which they are taking place? This is a top priority for me and has been since I took over in this job. What I can say to you in terms of structural changes that I've done is that I have convened all of the heads of the judicial appointment committees. I've written to them about the need for urgency in terms of making suggestions. I have worked with my deputy and other officials in government to facilitate the speed with which security clearances are obtained. I've made structural changes such that the JACs now sit for 3 years and their assessments are valid for 3 years. Every time I tour anywhere in this country, I talk about the need for people to apply, people of the highest quality that represent the diversity of this country. Other aspects that relate to the need for judges are informed by the courts themselves. The courts tell me we need a specific expertise, a family law lawyer, a person who's got expertise in insolvency matters. Sometimes from provinces that don't have significant Francophone populations, they still require bilingual jurists because of the needs to address Francophone litigants. We are always attentive to the needs of the court and will remain so, and are working very closely with those chief judges to meet the needs of their courts quickly. Thank you.
Wow, 1 second left. Thank you very much.